Yeah, this is a video that I'm making in reference to people ask, since both of them are gone, who would win between Bruce Lee and Muhammad Ali? Well, if it was just boxing only in the ring, I'd say Muhammad Ali because that's all he specialized in is boxing. But if it was in the streets, I'd say Bruce Lee because he was specialized in hand-to-hand combat. Although Muhammad Ali did fight a Japanese fighter in the ring, but he wasn't specialized in what Bruce Lee would be specialized in as far as the streets go. But I will say this, both of them win because of the fact that they both were damn good, excellent, top of the top, the best of the best, the top athlete or athletes that will never be forgotten and will never be able to touch. Some will come close, but you can't never copy the original. Never. But they both were equal in my book because I love both of them. I got books on both of them, pictures on both of them, studied both of them, their techniques and footwork and things like that. And to be honest with you, Bruce Lee studied Muhammad Ali more than Ali studied Bruce Lee. And even Bruce Lee admitted himself that if he got in the ring with just boxing skills only with Muhammad Ali, he would get beat up. I ain't gonna say really bad. I don't know. We'll never know. But I will say that uh, Muhammad Ali would win. I ain't gonna say hands down. Um, I'm sure Bruce would give him a fight, but Bruce is in Muhammad Ali's world, his boxing world. It's just like Muhammad Ali, if he got in the ring with Bruce Lee and Bruce was using his skills in martial arts, Muhammad Ali would be in Bruce Lee's world because that's what Bruce Lee is specialized in when it comes to hand-to-hand combat. So both of them complement each other. Muhammad Ali um, will win in his world, and Bruce Lee will win in his world. But they both would learn from each other, I'm sure, because that's why Bruce Lee had the moves and skills and hand movements and feet movements when in the movie Enter the Dragon. That's all Ali. The dancing and everything like that. Some of it's Bruce Lee, a certain percentage of it, but most of it's Ali. When he fought O'Hara, the villain, oh yeah, that's all day Muhammad Ali. But even Jim Kelly, in his movies, the footwork, the hand speed, Ali. You know what I'm saying? So they both touched a lot of people around the world. And they both opened doors up for people around the world. There were times where black folks could not jog or even swim in Miami in the ocean. Well, eventually, Muhammad Ali broke those barriers. And there also were times where certain martial artists back in the day, the monks, wouldn't allow the teachers to teach other races of people as far as hand-to-hand combat and self-defense, such as the blacks, the whites, and any other culture that's non-Asian. So he broke down those barriers. Bruce Lee did. So they both complemented each other, and they both helped folks around the world in reference to that. They used their talents and skills to open up doors for other people, you know, and to bless other people and inspire other people. So most people would say Muhammad Ali would win. Like I said, well, it's the truth. I mean, the truth is the truth. Like I said, and I've been saying in my videos, and the truth will set you free. Ali would win in the boxing ring with boxing gloves only. But in the martial art world, in the ring, or even in the streets, Ali, he would have a chance if he could get to him. But it's too many weapons. In other words, if a boxer and martial artist got into a fight, and it also depends on the skill of the guy or the girl or the fighter, you know? Some people are multi-talented. They can box and do martial arts, which is, I can do that myself. I'm multi-talented. I can do both. I can wrestle, you know what I'm saying? And I can do other martial arts and other sports. But really, if a boxer and a martial artist got in a fight in the streets, it would be a fight. You see the difference between a street fighter and a martial artist, and even a person that's drunk. A drunken fighter is the worst fighter you could fight. Why? Because their equilibrium, their balance, their actions are not choreographed. They're not timed. They just do it. And they're unpredictable. That's basically what I'm trying to say. You don't know what this person drunk is going to do next. So you have to be aware and be careful. But a martial artist in the street, if he just used martial arts against, say, a street fighter, it would be close because martial artists would only use martial arts. But a street fighter is going to use anything at his or her disposal, meaning, say the martial artist is getting the best of the street fighter, but even say the street fighter is getting the best of the martial artist. But 9 times out of 10, the street fighter, he going to do some other stuff. He or she, he going to pick up something and bust you with it. He going to pick up something, throw it at you. He going to pick up something, he or she, and cut you with it. You know what I'm saying? So that's the difference between a street fighter, a drunken fighter, and even a drunken fighter do the same thing, he or she. But a martial artist would only be using techniques like kicks and punches and knees, elbows, maybe headbutts. That's good. But in the streets, you got to combine both. You got to be able to do anything that comes and counter anything that come at you to keep yourself from getting hurt, keep from getting cut, stabbed. And also, a street fighter or even a drunken fighter, they'll use a weapon. They'll use a gun on you. You know what I'm saying? He or she. And you can't stop no bullet, especially if it's coming straight at you. You might have a chance, but your chances are slim and none, especially if the street fighter's getting beat down and he got a weapon like a knife or a gun. He gonna use it. He or she gonna use it. But a martial artist, he's limited in the streets unless he start mixing his martial arts with street fighting. If you're a good street fighter, most street fighters are good martial artists because they learn to fight in the streets. And they learn to use whatever they could use to defend and protect themselves or whomever, their loved ones. So to me, that's like mixed martial arts because you ain't been taught it, but it's instinctive in you. The preservation of life, to live, to protect. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, if a martial artist get beat up in the streets and he ain't got nothing else to offer or come back with, then he's done, he or she. But if he or she can do martial arts plus other things, wrestling, ground techniques, like I said, using things in the street to hit you with them, cut you with them, stab you with them, or even, weapons. If they get that bad and they get beaten that bad, If they got something on them, they're going to use it against you, and they're going to try to kill you with it. So that's the difference. But a martial artist and a boxer, well, it depends on the person, like I said, he or she. The boxer would have a chance, especially if he's good with footwork, if his body's conditioned, he or she. If his skills are there with his hands and his, even his feet. But really, a boxer's limited in what he could do against a martial artist, especially if he's in the ring. He can only use his boxing skills. You know what I'm saying? A martial artist would have elbows, knees, headbutts. He could bite, scratch, kick, punch, spit, poke you in the eye. There's so many weapons versus a boxer. You know what I'm saying? He can only throw jabs, hooks, uppercuts, overhand rights, overhand lefts. You know what I'm saying? Right cross, left cross. That's all he could offer if he's a straight up boxer. That's why when you see straight boxers get in the UFC, they got to keep their distance from a wrestler or a person that grapples or knows any other martial arts on the ground, like jiu-jitsu and judo and aikido and things like that, because they know if they go down, they won't have too much of a chance. I'm not saying they won't. If their hands are free, you know what I'm saying, they still can, get out of it, have a chance. If you get a good shot, if she gets a good shot, knock the person out or knock them unconscious or whatever, or injure them, they got a chance. But even if they get up again, they still gonna have to keep the distance, keep their hands moving, keep the jab in the face, because once they get tackled and they go to the ground and they get in a chokehold or whatever, it's almost impossible for them to get out of it. So, yeah, that's the difference in these kind of sports and these kind of situations. Like I said, I respect both of them very much. So I'm not going to say one is better than the other, but I will say that for each one in each other's world, it would be a difference. In other words, Ali would be the victor in his world versus Bruce Lee boxing with Muhammad Ali. But Muhammad Ali would be a victim to Bruce Lee in his world because of his street fighting and hand-to-hand combat. Bruce could kick him in the shin, the knees. Them thigh kicks ain't no joke. You see that all the time in the UFC. And they hurt. Don't think they don't. Just because you see them on TV, you get kicked by somebody in your thigh 12 different times or longer or all night, you ain't going to be able to walk. Because, everybody knows Randy Couture in the UFC. And he got into it with one of those Thai boxers, heavyweight. And he did what he could, but he kept getting kicked in them thighs, both of them. And he even admitted years later that fight with that guy, he couldn't walk for like almost a month because of the pounding of them thick thighs and them thick kicks on his thighs. And trust me, they hurt more than you can imagine, more than you see in the UFC. Let somebody keep kicking you in your thighs between your legs and any angle they can kick you on them thighs, even your calves. It ain't no joke, trust me. Because these guys that do that kind of martial arts, they spend hours kicking bamboo trees, kicking them till they knock them down, kick them in half. That's how powerful their kicks are. In Muay Thai, that sport ain't no joke, man. I'm telling you. But that's my opinion on who would win between Bruce Lee and Muhammad Ali, a street fighter and a drunk fighter. And with that, I'm going to talk to you real soon, I bet you.